Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to This Explainer, where we're unpacking a dynamic I think almost all of us have faced at some point. Honestly, often without even realizing it's happening. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? There is someone in your life right now who's secretly playing games with your head. You don't always catch it in the moment, but man, you definitely feel the aftermath. They subtly make you feel guilty, they twist your words around, and they somehow always leave you questioning your own sanity. And the absolute wildest part? You probably keep letting them do it just because you don't know the secret to making it stop. Well, that changes today.
So I want you to really think about it for a second. Who is playing games with your head right now? Picture that specific person. Maybe it's a coworker who is always undermining you, a quote-unquote friend, or even a family member who just always seems to magically make you feel like you're the one in the wrong. Got him in your mind? Good. Hold on to that. Because the stakes here are incredibly personal. And frankly, your mental energy is way too precious to be drained by them for even one more day.
But what if I told you there's a totally foolproof way to beat them at their own game, and you don't even ever have to raise your voice? Throughout this explainer, we are going to escalate through 5 distinct, incredibly powerful psychological tactics. We're talking 5 simple, completely drama-free steps that shift all the power entirely back to you. There's no fighting here, no arguing, just absolute, calm control that is guaranteed to make a manipulator panic and back off forever.
All right, let's kick things off with our first defensive maneuver. Level 1, starving the power source.
To really nail this, we have to grasp a concept that absolutely blew my mind when I first learned it. A manipulator's actual food, like their absolute power source, is your immediate emotional reaction. When they say something snarky and your chest gets tight, your stomach turns, and you visibly show anger, sadness, or confusion, well, bingo, that is exactly what they want. You see, if you give a weak response, like snapping back or tearing up, you are literally feeding them. They're going to keep pushing those buttons because, hey, it works. But the strong response? A completely blank face. Zero visible reaction. When you show your emotions, they win the game. But when you show nothing, you starve them. It's a huge realization. Truly strong people control what they show, while weak people just show everything.
So, how do we actually pull this off in the heat of the moment? It all comes down to building a simple micro habit. Step 1. Listen. It is completely fine to feel that upset emotion bubbling up inside. You're human. Let yourself feel it. But step 2, you wait 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Keep your face totally blank, like you're staring at a freshly painted wall. Then, step 3, say, okay, or in a completely flat, utterly bored voice. Talk like you are commenting on, I don't know, mildly cloudy weather. No anger, no sadness, just nothing. This flat tone sends the manipulator's brain into immediate panic mode. They'll be spinning, thinking, wait, why didn't that work? And eventually, they just give up.
Once you've got that down, we escalate to level 2, refusing the trap.
So after you stop giving them those juicy emotional reactions, manipulators are going to pivot. They'll switch to something incredibly sneaky. Trap questions. These are designed so that no matter what you say, you lose. Take a look at this classic example. Why are you always so sensitive? Look at how utterly insidious this trap is. If you answer by saying, I'm not sensitive, boom, they immediately tell you you're being defensive. But if you try to earnestly explain why your feelings are hurt, they just smirk and say, see, you're proving my point. It's a rigged game. You literally cannot win if you play by the rules.
So we don't play. How do we refuse the game? You have 2 brilliantly calm choices here. Choice 1 is complete, unbroken silence. Just let the silence hang there in the air. Manipulators absolutely hate silence because it means they've lost control of the conversation. But choice 2, oh, I love this one because it's almost funny how well it works. You just answer a completely unrelated question. They ask why you're being so sensitive, and you just look at them and say, what do you want for dinner? Or, I think I'm going to go for a walk. It completely derails them. It proves you absolutely refuse to waste a single ounce of your precious energy on their little games, and soon enough, they'll stop asking trap questions because they'll learn you just aren't an easy target anymore. Okay, now we're moving from conversational tactics to actual structural boundaries. Here is level 3, the broken record boundary. This boundary is your go-to for when a manipulator relentlessly keeps pushing for a yes and simply refuses to accept your no. The trap that most genuinely nice people fall right into is offering a laundry list of excuses. When the manipulator pushes, you might say, oh, I can't tonight because I'm tired. Then they counter with, come on, you can rest later. So you pivot and say, well, I really have work to do. And they say, that can wait till tomorrow. Do you see what's happening? Every single new excuse just gives them a brand new angle to argue against until you are totally trapped in a corner. The fix for this is entirely different. You pick one firm phrase and you stick to it. Period. I found this strategy so incredibly empowering. You just pick a phrase, exactly like, I'm not available. And the secret to its unshakable power? You repeat it like a literal robot. Same exact words, same exact flat tone, every single time they try to push. They say, come on, just this once. You say, I'm not available. They try to lay on the guilt trip. I thought you actually cared about me. You say, I'm not available. Do not give reasons, do not explain yourself, and whatever you do, don't try to make them understand. They don't want to understand, they just want you to cave. To quickly sum up this level, weak boundaries sound like a long, exhausting, defensive explanation. Strong boundaries, they sound like a broken record. Now, fair warning. At first, this is going to really frustrate the manipulator. They might even get visibly angry. But guess what? That is exactly how you know it's working. You become an immovable brick wall, and they quickly realize that pushing doesn't work, guilt trips don't work, and you are just utterly impossible to manipulate.
Now, sometimes verbal boundaries just aren't enough to get the message across. And that brings us to level 4, revoking your access. This is a structural tactic that nice people are often genuinely terrified to use. But let me tell you, it is undeniably powerful. When someone treats you badly, you simply disappear. Here's exactly how you execute this. Step 1, they cross a boundary or disrespect you in some way. Step 2, immediately after, you pull back. You don't announce it, you don't send a long text explaining your feelings, you don't give a big dramatic speech. You just disappear. No texts for a few hours or maybe even a whole day. You're busy living your life. Step 3, when you do finally return, you watch closely how they treat you. If their behavior improves, great. But if they go right back to their old toxic ways, you disappear again, and this time for even longer. You have to realize you aren't punishing them. You are non-verbally training them with a fundamental core truth. Bad treatment means they lose access to you. Your time, your attention, and your energy are highly valuable commodities. By disappearing, you force their brain to scramble and wonder what went wrong. They learn the rules very clearly. Treat me badly, I disappear. Treat me well, I stay. And hey, if a manipulator just disappears completely when you start doing this, good riddance. It means they only wanted you around because you were easy to control. What an incredible realization, right? You literally win either way. All right, we have finally reached the climax of this explainer. It is time to pivot from playing defense to building an unshakable offensive life. Welcome to level 5, the ultimate power move. I really think the core psychology of manipulation is actually quite simple. And once you realize this, it changes absolutely everything. Manipulation only works on people who need something, people who feel a bit empty, or people who feel lonely. So the ultimate power move, the thing that makes manipulators completely lose their minds, is being genuinely happy without them. Not pretending, not faking a great life on social media, actually being complete on your own. Think about it. If you are entirely full and deeply satisfied on your own, what leverage do they possibly have over you? What can they possibly offer you to lure you in? Nothing. Literally nothing. And this is where your focus should truly lie moving forward, building your own world. You have got to stop waiting for other people to include you and stop making other people your whole world. Build it for yourself. Dive enthusiastically into reading books. Try out those new hobbies you've always secretly wondered about. Go out and meet new people. Hit the gym, work on your personal goals, or just create things for the sheer joy of it. Fill your life to the absolute brim with personal growth. When you throw yourself into becoming complete alone and you cultivate that independent joy, it acts as an impenetrable shield against anyone trying to play games with you. Because manipulators, they have a sixth sense for this. They can sniff out when you just don't need them anymore. They'll try to pull their old tricks and you just genuinely won't care because you've got better things to do. It's such a beautiful thing when you realize you have a life that is full and good entirely without them in it. By becoming a person who is entirely complete alone, you naturally filter your entire social circle. The people who stick around will be the ones who treat you with genuine respect, and the ones who are only there to use you, they'll panic and leave. You are left only with people who add real value to your life, not those who drain it. Manipulators actively target nice people who care. That's you. You didn't do anything wrong, you just needed the right tools to protect yourself. So, here is my challenge to you for this week. Pick Just one of these 5 tactics. Just one. Maybe you'll practice having a blank face when someone gets snarky, or maybe you'll try being a broken record with your boundaries. Do it once. Just see what happens. Then try another one next week. Ultimately, defeating manipulation isn't about fighting the other person. It's about building yourself up. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. What will you build for yourself today? Stop wasting your precious energy arguing with people who want to drag you down, and start focusing all of that energy on your own joyful, independent growth. Build a world for yourself that is so rich, so full, and so complete that there's simply no room left for anyone's games. Go out there and show the world that you are